Good morning, everybody. Well, we're finally back in operation here at Baldwin, and we've got a new pilot this year. We've got Nick Powers here. He's going to be flying for us this summer. And although he has been trained at Skydive Spaceland, where we leased the caravan from, he hasn't done any landings here at Baldwin. And Baldwin's a challenging airport. It's 2,500 strip, and we've got some obstacles. We've got a tree line and power lines off the south end of the runway. And way down there at the north end of the runway, we've got some raised train tracks. So it can be an intimidating runway to operate out of. It's not crazy short for the caravan, but it still is something that you need to be careful with. So I'm gonna fly a load or two for him, and just to show him what the sight picture is when you're coming in on the caravan. We come in pretty steep. You really need to be really on it. You can't be high, you can't be fast, or you'll not stop in time. So we've got a couple loads to go here. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in western Wisconsin, and we're going flying. So with a relatively short runway, we use all the runway. I'm not exactly going to put the left wheel in the ditch, but I'm not going to waste a lot of runway. It's a soft field takeoff, so look at the light on the nose wheel, and then don't let it rise too much. Away we go. First notch of flaps comes up really quick. And the next one. And we are off. Morning approach, Skydive 1, 4.9, climbing 14.5.
Skydive 1, Minneapolis departure. Radar contact about 4 miles northwest of the Baldwin Airport. Altimeter is 3019er, and say altitude limit.
We're out of 5.3 at this time.
Skydive 1, roger. Advise 1 minute prior to jumpers away.
Skydive 1. Approach, Skydive 1, 1 minute.
Skydive 1, roger. No traffic observed between you and the Baldwin Airport at this time.
Skydive 1.
Attention all aircraft, skydiving activity in progress over the Baldwin Airport, 14,500 and down. And Southwest 635.
And down. Yep, that's the way we go. Right. And above. No, that's not good.
Southwest 635, affirmative.
7, Redwing.
And last jumper's in the door. And they're gone. Down we go.
Maintain 190 knots or greater.
Skydive 1, no traffic for you. Radar service terminated for change crew. We'll talk to you later.
Skydive 1. Alrighty. So coming into land at Baldwin from the south, now you got to clear the power lines and the trees. So I usually, when I'm coming in on final, I'm usually aiming right at the tops of the trees, and basically on an attitude that if you didn't flare, you'd hit the road.
Right on.
You're also watching for the skydivers, see if they're in your way, because they have a tendency to be sometimes. I like a nice steep approach, that way I keep my airspeed up. I like to come in over the obstacles at about 100. I'm doing 120, but once I lift my nose, you'll see the speed just disappear. So I'm aimed right at the trees right now. There's 100 right over the obstacles, and a nice smooth flare. If I'm a little fast, I might take it out of. Put it into reverse like a foot above the ground, but not much. You don't need a ton of reverse to stop in time. Yeah, so coming over the trees, you want to be pretty steep. You know, like I say, 95 to 100 over the trees, the last obstacle. If you're high and fast, a lot of times you've got the power lines here. Instead of aiming at the top of the trees, I'll aim almost not quite straight down, but pretty steep.
Okay.
And that'll burn off a lot of your excess altitude, and you'll gain airspeed, but you won't gain efficiency as far as how far you float. Then you bring it up, then you end up a little shallower, but still steep over the obstacles. And as soon as you lift that nose, all your speed just goes away. You'll go from, diving in at 120, which is still in flap speed. You got your flaps down.
Yeah.
Flap speed is 125. And when you lift your nose up, as you're crossing the power lines and the trees, you'll see your speed fall right back down to 120 or 110.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, 100.
Yeah.
So that's what I did on this last one I showed you. Like, I got super steep, aimed right at that middle of that field.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, yeah, well, but that burned up a bunch of my excess altitude. Then when I pulled it up, as soon as I lifted my nose, the speed went away, and I was at probably 98 as I crossed the last obstacle, the trees. And then a nice smooth pull out. If you're ever going to go into reverse in flight, which is not allowed, you can do it if you're like an inch above and you're kind of floating. You flare up there, you're just down there, and you can just take it off the gate and just ever so gently squeak a little bit in, just a tad. Don't do it high. Even if you're 2-3 feet above the ground, that sucker will drop. And if you do it even higher, not only will it drop, but the nose will come down. You collapse the nose wheel and mess up a lot of stuff, and everybody will be really mad.
Okay.
So, really careful about that. But if you're in the flare and you're just over the over the ground, just barely, you can take it off the gate and just ever so gently bring it in there. Don't pull it back. You're not really bringing it into reverse. You're just kind of getting it started.
Okay.
And then as you feel your wheels touch down, then you can, as soon as the mains are down, then you can start putting more, and you put it in nice and smooth, get on the brakes a little bit, and have a nice short line.
Right on.
Clear visual 30 left at 2940.
But definitely never put it into reverse in flight. Even if you've got a ton of extra airspeed, say you're 4 or 5 feet in the air and you're doing 115, like, holy crap, I don't think I'm going to stop. That's a go-around scenario.
Exactly.
That's not a let's go into reverse in flight scenario. Never do that. I mean, you'd really have to be literally like an inch above the ground with your nose a little high. Just like, man, I'm still floating. And it just helps you settle to the ground real nice and soft.
Okay, cool.
But you got to be, I wouldn't even try that for a while till you really get the feel for it. You got a bunch of reps here. You're used to the runway.
Yeah.
You're very comfortable with your flare. You're greasing it in. Then you get those ones where you're like, I'm just a couple inches high and I'm just a couple knots fast. Just push that in just a tad, and then have a nice short lane.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty, so you ready to give her a whirl?
Yes, sir.
At the infamous Baldwin. So all the guys down in Houston like, you're going to Baldwin? Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's for real, though.
Oh, man, that runway. Yikes.
Right.
But I love it. I love landing this on this runway because it makes you a better pilot. You've got to be perfect. It's like aircraft carrier landings. You can't be high and fast. Can't be sloppy. You don't have 6,000 feet of runway. You're just like, I'm kind of in the general ballpark. No, man.
Yeah.
You need to be
every time on
10
point.
feet over those trees, and that's where you got to be. The end.
Oh, yeah.
Last one is in the door.
Delta 783.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Down we go.
Jumpers away.
All right. Oh, you're looking pretty well set up.
30 right hotel current.
30 we have
You're a little low and outside.
Yeah. Flash coming in.
Easy to do. So don't be afraid to put in a squirt of power if you need it.
Yep.
You can get steeper, more aggressive as you get more reps here.
Yeah, I believe. What the fuck?
Hang on, let me run out and jiggle it. That was annoying.
Right?
It's always some damn thing.
If
I've never had the stall horn get stuck like that. That's weird.
that was,
I don't know if we got a bug in there or something.
probably.
Don't hit bugs. You got one job. Don't hit bugs. Okay, and don't hit birds and don't hit skydivers. Don't hit stuff.
Yeah, I'll try not to next time.
Fly through the clear part of the air without solid objects.
Yes, boss. Next time.
So many lessons to teach you, young man. Looks like you got the takeoffs down pretty good. We haven't hit the train tracks once today.
Let's keep that going.
Remember, 3 strikes and you're out, man.
26010,000, business city.
We have strict standards here.
I respect it.
All right, so you got a couple of landings under your belt. How you feeling about landing at Baldwin?
Feeling confident.
United 11.
I'll get to the point where I can just, on the disc, put it in there without any power, but I'm okay with having to put in power.
Yeah, you know, that's when you're learning the landing at this runway. Just kind of take it easy. Don't push it real hard. You know, like you say, you've always got throttle. You can put a little power in if you need to there and there, and you'll get closer, higher, and tighter as you develop confidence in your skills and the ability of this plane to stop.
Yep.
You know, it's
and
tough.
Also the sight picture too.
Yeah.
And approach pretty native left.
You know, it's a little harder learning today because it's a crosswind, so it's You know, not this great headwind that's stopping you.
Yeah.
But it's also good training because then when you get a day with a headwind, you'll find it's even easier. It's like, oh, this thing stops on a dime, not a problem.
Yeah.
Skywest 3851.
Well, if you're feeling all good and happy and hunky-dory, well, then you don't need me.
I mean, you can jump if you want.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, all right.
I've risked my life enough for one day.
126.905, good day.
And I might as well jump out and have a skydive and watch you land from the ground and bite my nails and pray to God that you don't wreck the airplane.
There you go.
Skydive 1 minute.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Skywest 3778, reduce speed to 210.
All right, so Nick got down safely without my expert help, so he is checked off to solo at Baldwin, and we got a new jump pilot. Sweet.